We already know, thanks to the petition calling for harsh punishment, that Johnny isn't going to get off easy. A reduced or lenient sentence? Not happening. Even the standard sentencing seems unlikely. He's headed straight into the aggravated category. And it's all because of Hank. Hank dragged you into this mess, Ramsey. And now, you're in serious trouble because you never took anything seriously. Unbelievable. Hank is now the reason Johnny Somali is sinking deeper into chaos. I know what you're thinking. Wait, what's he talking about? But here's the deal. Whether you see it as bad luck or poetic justice, the fact is that Hank, the same guy who always used to bail Johnny out, is now the one causing him even more problems. Big problems. Yup, you heard that right. Breaking news. Hank is acting as Johnny Somali's lawyer, or something close to it. That's exactly why Johnny didn't hire a proper, experienced attorney. And honestly, that decision is making his situation go from bad to worse. You already know, Johnny Somali could be looking at a 20 to 30-year sentence. And without real legal representation, there's zero chance he's getting out of this easily. To make it worse, Hank is now trying to represent Johnny himself. Just picture that. Hank, taking on the role of lawyer, defending someone as chaotic as Johnny Somali? That's a disaster waiting to happen. He's not cutting any time off that potential 20-year sentence, let alone winning the case. A lot of people compare it to P. Diddy's case. P. Diddy was facing life behind bars, but his most serious charges got dropped. Why? Because he didn't plead guilty, and more importantly, because the guy has billions and spent millions to fight it. Johnny Somali? He doesn't have that kind of money. Not even close. And when we looked into it, not a single mitigating factor could be found in Ramsey Khalid Ismail's favor. If Johnny actually believes Hank can save him, here's a reality check. Johnny already made Hank public enemy number 1 in South Korea. People there can't stand him. And let's not forget, Johnny is broke. And ever since Hank stood by him, even Hank's own family stopped supporting him financially. Now, both of them are broke and dragging each other down. And in this video, I'll break down exactly how and why all of this is about to explode. Let's kick it off with what Hank is doing at this very moment. It's almost laughable. Let's hear from Legal Mindset. Johnny trusted Hank during the pretrial phase. Why? Because Hank was pretending to be his attorney. There's even a quote from Hank himself. Well, I'm kind of like his representation too. That's where the real problem started. Hank took none of it seriously until it was already too late. And because he pulled you into this carelessness, Ramsey, you're now neck deep in legal hell. Guys, did you see that poster? I can't stop laughing. If it's real, just look at Hank's face on it. It says, in legal trouble, better call Hank. And underneath, Hank Goodman, non-attorney at law. Hilarious. And honestly, if this were real, here's exactly what would happen. Johnny would absolutely go to jail. And Hank? He'd likely get into trouble too, just for pretending to represent him. Imagine Hank standing in court yelling, "Free him! He's my friend!" Oh man, that would be wild. So yeah, if you ever need legal advice, call Hank. He's guaranteed to give you the worst advice ever. Because remember, he's a non-attorney lawyer. Back to Legal My Mindset. By the time reality kicked in, it was too late. Ramsey had taken the whole thing too lightly, and now he's stuck in Korea, facing serious consequences. To make matters worse, a victim has now come forward with a petition calling for strict punishment. And that's on Hank for not handling things correctly when he had the chance. Now here's something important. Yes, Hank definitely made things worse for Johnny, but let's not forget what Johnny did to Hank. He trashed Hank's reputation. He tanked Hank's finances. He even made Hank get him a rental house. And now, even in Korea, no one wants Hank around. He can't even get a gym membership there anymore. And honestly, if he ever tried to run from the law, it wouldn't get far. He can't even escape the front desk at Planet Fitness. What's happening here is simple. Both Johnny and Hank are paying the price for their actions. They backed each other up through nasty behavior, they covered up each other's wrongdoings, and now they're stuck in the mess they made together. Final point, again from Legal Mindset. Johnny Somali will definitely face an aggravated sentence from the court. No way is he getting a reduced sentence. No way is he even getting the default. He's firmly in aggravated territory. So how long could he go away for? between 4 years and 3 months and up to 12 years. That's the minimum aggravated sentence. Here's what that all means. Mitigated was a lighter sentence due to a reasonable excuse, like stealing bread because you're starving. Default equals the normal punishment with no extra weight. Aggravated, harsher punishment due to added severity, like using a weapon in an assault. And in Johnny's case, he's headed for aggravated, no question. Honestly, I think he deserves the maximum. What do you think? And here's the kicker. Johnny Somali has repeatedly threatened the judge, even the judge's mother. The court knows this. So what happens when Johnny stands before that same judge? What kind of reaction do you think that'll get? Legal Mindset points out, this will almost certainly make the judge go even harder on him. Because think about it. If the only person you could appeal to is someone you've threatened, what hope is there? This judge is fair and by the book. But in Korea, judges don't like giving mixed verdicts. They go all guilty or not guilty, no in between. So does Johnny even stand a chance? Honestly, probably not. But when the judge finally faces Johnny in court and asks, "Did you say that and why?" I really want to hear what Johnny says in response. Now here's a video floating online. It shows the moment Hank was getting beaten by some Koreans. And Johnny? He was right there, saw it happen, and ran away. Didn't even look back. That tells you everything. Johnny doesn't care about anyone but himself. He used Hank, drained him of everything, and if he ever gets the chance to run, believe me, he'll leave Hank behind without a second thought. If South Korea ever lifts Johnny's travel ban, even for a second, he'll vanish. You'll never see him there again. And Hank? He won't even get a goodbye. Now Hank is also dragging Johnny down, so it's no surprise they didn't hire a better lawyer. They're broke. And honestly, no respectable attorney wants to defend people like this. They're toxic. But in the end, what's going to happen? Will Johnny get 4 years? Or 12? What about Hank? Can either of them get out of South Korea?